What's up guys, Noah Quezzy here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my process on creating kits. Now you might be familiar with my kit designs on Instagram. I guess I could bring that up real quick. But I'm posting kit designs every week, and I get a lot of questions about them and stuff. Obviously I haven't posted this YouTube channel in a minute, but I think I'd like to start making a few more tutorials along this sort of thing. So I'm going into this one completely raw, you could say. Usually if I do a tutorial, it's pretty well planned out and I know what I'm doing. This one, I am literally just going to make an Argentina kit. I plan on making a World Cup project of designs for all the World Cup teams. I figured I'd start with the current champions since it's a good starting point, but I have no design ideas, so I'm gonna walk you through my process of finding inspiration, ideas, and then designing the kit. So first things first, I'd usually start with picking out the mockup. Now I usually just know what mockup I'm going to use because I own and use this website Template FC, which I create all the mockups for. So I know all the mockups that are here and I know what I'm going to use. But I'm assuming you guys don't have that luxury and you have to pick out a mockup for your design. So whatever design you're doing, you kind of want to have an idea of the team and what their vibe is. So I created these modern piping soccer mockup templates, and I like these or the polo collar templates for an Argentina kit. However, after doing some light research, I realized that the Argentina doesn't really ever have a collared shirt. It just feels wrong. So I think I'm going to do the modern piping. Could use the kit builder too. I'm going to be using this mockup, which you can get at Template FC. Link will be in the description. I also may use one of the pattern packs on Template FC, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Anyway, now I have my mockup picked out. I know I'm gonna use this. Let's get some ideas for the design. So I'm probably just gonna only do a home kit here. So obviously Argentina has an iconic look with the blue and white stripes. But the first thing I like to do for any kit design is to go to Football Kit Archive, and I'm gonna type in Argentina in the search bar. Now, this website does have a lot of ads pop up nowadays, so just watch out for that. There you go. Used to be a lot better, but it's still great resource. And I do like to check the top shirt every now and then. In this case, I think Argentina's is a little, like this one's a little too highly rated because it's the World Cup patch. So I think it might just have more favorable votes because of that. I don't know if it's truly like the favorite. So in Football Kit Archive, what I would like to do, or what I typically do, is come to their most recent kit. Now this is in fact their kit for 2026. So I'm gonna open that and just have that in the tab. And I'm gonna reference this just so I don't create anything that's too similar to this because I want my own kind of design. And then what I would do is scroll through and pick out any other designs that stand out to me that I think are cool. It could be an away kit or a home kit, it doesn't really matter. I really like this one. Now this one actually fits our style a little bit, so let me get that one up. And my comments about the polo collar earlier might be wrong because there are a few here, although my polo collar template is a little bigger of a collar, so I don't think it fits exactly. But I'm not seeing anything else that really stands out too much. It's like everything's basically how you expect an Argentina kit to look. So I'm happy with the ones I pulled up here, and I'm gonna use these as maybe references. Maybe I'll look back at them. I don't know, but I like to have them up. I also do like to check their rating a little bit. So anything over 4 is usually a pretty good sign. That means people like it. And it looks like, does this one have a 4? No, this one's a little short, but it is the new one, so that's to be expected. Now, the next thing I would do is go to a place and just look at other people's designs for this team or in general. So a place I like to go is designfootball.com, which is a great place to post your kit designs too, by the way. You'll see a lot of our mockups used here, which is fabulous. And they have competitions and things. This isn't a paid plug or whatever, but they are great. And I'm gonna type in Argentina here. Now, I don't ever really, I don't know, like, I don't wanna say I don't use this because I do, I look at it all the time, but it's kind of to get an idea of what other people do. And personally, I like to do things that others don't do, if that makes sense. Although if you see something that sticks out like a cool element and it inspires an idea, that's really helpful. I don't know if I'll get anything here, but we'll just take a look. Okay, I didn't see anything that really stood out to me too much, so I'm just gonna go to galleries, football kit designs, and look at some general kit designs, some of the recent stuff, just to see if there's anything kind of interesting that will spark an idea or two in my head. You can also do this sort of thing on Instagram. It's a common place people will look at kits because obviously there's a lot posted there. This is a nice one, I like that pattern. I'm actually gonna bring this one up. I kind of like I like the triangular shape and the striping design to that. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna bring that up. Okay, that was a lot of scrolling and I didn't find much. So let's go to Behance now. This is my next spot. And I'm gonna type in, actually, I do get recommended a lot of cool stuff and I do wanna check out this. Oh, is this the actual Nigeria kit? That's kind of sick. Argentina kit. This is actually very similar to the vibe I wanna go with. So this is actually super helpful. I really love this woman's design. I'm gonna pull that up as a reference. I love the different colors in the striping. It's interesting that it's not fully vertical. I don't know if I'd quite do that, but that's neat. Okay, not seeing much here. Let's just search concept kit. These look pretty cool. Anything to draw inspiration? That's so nice. I love this color balance. That's pretty cool. That's similar vibe to what I'm thinking for my Argentina kit. Interesting. This guy has a fairly similar style to me. Definitely a lot more controlled though. Okay, cool. I think I have some ideas and I think I'm ready to start. Now, any inspiration I want to use, I want to pull up. So like I would close this stuff and just have these two things up. I really like this kind of striping design, but like I don't think it would really translate to Argentina kit. I think in general that's pretty cool, something like that. But I'm gonna close it out. This is definitely more of the vibe I'm going for. And if you actually, I actually can do this now because I have so many designs out there. I like search my name, Kwezi Argentina kit. And I have a few Argentina designs already. And this one is like by far my favorite. And it's similar to the vibe I'm going for. I think I can do better. Let's go ahead and actually design something. So I'm working on my laptop rather than my computer, so everything is a little different. But here's my working folder. Let's do Argentina. And I usually just grab from the last thing I was working on. So this Juventus kit uses the same template I want to use. So let's just copy that Argentina one, open it in Photoshop. Let me get the Argentina logo up. Yeah, this is it. All right, now let's set up our mockup. So I'm gonna go to, so obviously this is a used mockup. This isn't like fresh downloaded, but still it's basically the same thing. So let's go ahead and open up the body. I'm gonna delete this stuff. I'm gonna leave this logos folder. Let me clear the layer style. Delete everything. We can have white, that's fine. And let's go ahead and add the Argentina logo. And I'm gonna use my color picker here and I'm gonna select the light blue so I have the right light blue. And I think I will be using their gold here. So let's just grab that and I have those two colors over here. And then let's align this logo. And we can delete that, can delete that. This can be this color. And I think with this gold, we're gonna have some reflection stuff. So I'm gonna double click on the group with the logos, go to gradient overlay. And I don't wanna use a gold actually, let's use a gray. And just do something like that. Okay, cool. So that's the setup. Let's save the front real fast. And let's go ahead and open up the other smart objects. So I usually just start with the body and the sleeves. Now this has a sides panel, which I'll open, but I'll hide it for now. Actually, I can just delete it, save it, leave it blank. Delete the sleeves, save them. So now all this stuff's blank, and the stripes I want to be, we'll make them gold for now. I think we might make them blue or like navy, but we'll do that for now. And close the designs folder. Let's also hide it. The piping, let's take a look at that one Argentina kit that had the piping. So this had like the navy / black striping with the gold piping. So we'll try gold piping. The piping might just blend in when all things are said and done, but we'll see. And let's do no collar or back top color and no cuffs color. And then the sides top, let's make blue. And everything else we can kind of see how it goes. Let's see how this is structured. Yeah, blue sides. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to follow that too closely, but it is nice to have as a general guide. So let's do this. I'm actually going to bump up the size of the Adidas logo ever so slightly. I think it looks a little small. And we can go ahead and add some text. I'm going to add the number 10 here, since this will be on the front. And let's find a font. I would probably look for a font special for this project. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I kind of like this one. I don't know. Let's see how that looks set up. Okay, this is a good setup so far. Let's go ahead and get a base of stripes down. So let's switch the color so we have the blue here, get a rectangle, and let's create our stripe about there. And Argentina, I think, usually goes 3 stripes. I could do more. I think I'm gonna go with 3 stripes though, because I feel like that's a pretty good look. And I'm gonna align it like that. Let's just see how that's looking. And I'm actually gonna delete these and just work on 1 stripe. Let's see our inspiration. So yeah, this has like different colors coming in. And I need to find a cool pattern to do something with. So let's go. Okay, so here's the newest patterns pack, 2026 part 1 downloaded. And this is that cool Arsenal pattern. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, I actually really like this Gamba Osaka pattern. I'm gonna add this. This would actually make a great away kit for Argentina. Let's rasterize. Let's make it a clipping mask. And I'm gonna mess with it a bit. Like that. Command U, let's make this black and white. Ooh, I kind of love the color dodge on this. That's pretty sick. God dang. Okay, let's do this. And I'm gonna select this pattern. I'm gonna go to my actions, and we have a free product on Template FC called Displace FC. Use it all the time, very helpful for displacements and distortions. I'm gonna go to wave to normal, press play, get some nice waves. I'm gonna duplicate this, make it a layer mask, hide the original, and let me try a liquify, let's see. Love that. Let's go to displace now. Click OK. And in the displace folder that you get in the free download, you have a bunch of displacement maps. So let's get, I want one of these bubbles. Let's try 23. Perfect. This is, I'm really liking this. Let me take this stripe, duplicate it, and let me inverse this. And maybe just, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna group these. 1, 2, and I want to take, let's take 2, duplicate it, merge it, hide the group. Let's select color, white, mask it, inverse mask, and actually let's apply this mask. Command to select it, mask it again, and unlink it and just drag it over a little bit or this way. I think like that. So we get some white coming in here and breaking that up. I think that looks pretty sick. And this is a stripe. Now, I want to probably do more to this. It's a little too flat and straight, and I think the lighter blue might be a little too much, but let's create one more variation of this. So I'm gonna group all this and call it stripe, probably V1, and we'll create a stripe V2 the same way. Drag it over here, delete that, delete 2, and then let's find a different part of this. Something like that. Duplicate 1, call it 2, inverse this. That looks pretty good just as is. What does this look like with just... Maybe I'm overthinking this. Now let's just, this second one, I think I'm just gonna go with number 2 here. Actually, I could probably just delete number 2 and inverse it, just keep number 1. I think that's pretty cool. Now let's duplicate stripe V1, merge, duplicate stripe V2, merge, take these up, let's hide the groups, and let's space these out a bit. So I'll duplicate V2 and just bring it to the left. Take this one to the right. Let's do that. I'm gonna flip one of these, so let's flip this guy. Let's bring back our logos and see how this is looking. I think this is pretty neat. Save it. I am vibing with it. Now, the gold color is too mustardy yellow, I think. So that's gonna have to be an adjustment. I'm gonna just do that to the whole document to save time. And at the end, I'll individually change everything, but I'm gonna go and add a hue and saturation above the designs folder. Go to my yellow color and we'll darken it. Maybe bump up the saturation a bit and make it a little more orange. And maybe it needs desaturation more than it needs darkened. And I'm gonna, let's see what this looks like with black. Maybe even black piping. And maybe even black logos. So I like to create 2 folders of logos too, by the way, which is really helpful if you're like not sure what colors to go with. I feel like the black fits a little bit better, and I'm gonna roll with that for a little bit. Let's just finish out the thought a little longer and see how it goes. Now, obviously this stripe doesn't look centered because there's like a part missing here, which is a little bit of like, it's not a problem, it's just kind of annoying. I think if I flip this, to flip it that way too, I think that helps a little bit, so it feels a little more, well, first of all, we should actually make sure it is centered. It's actually not even centered, so I guess that's our issue. There we go. And now we have the same kind of problem. What if we... Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's save and see a little test. Nice. I think I'm not 100% sold on the striping setup. They might have to come a little closer. Let's group them and just call this stripes. Command A, align middle. There we go, a little easier. And I want to add like a little more, like these are 2 straight of lines for me. And actually, I'm gonna go back and keep them spaced out now that I think about it. But let's group them and call them stripes still. Make sure they're centered. Okay, let's create a duplicate of each, and I guess I should name them. Let's go L, C, R for left, center, and right. Left, duplicate, and we're gonna go, we'll just add the same thing on all these. So we're gonna go wave 2. It's probably too much. Let's go wave 2 normal. Maybe that would help. Wave 2 normal, displace normal. Displacement 33. Cool. And I'm gonna do that to both of these. Wave 2 normal. Wave 2 normal. Displace normal. 33. 33. I kind of love this already with it coming out and like not having the straight edges. I think that's awesome. Let's just save and see what this looks like. It may look a little too funky. And yeah, it's a little too much of that. And you lose a little bit of the straight lines, but let's create a layer mask. Let's get black and let's get the feel a little bit better. So this is my personal brush pack available on my Patreon. We're actually working on a Template FC product that will include a new brush pack with some of these brushes, but let's go ahead and just kind of erase some of these. And unlink the chain, go to, and make sure you just have this layer selected, press Command T, increase the size just a bit. And we can do that to the others. Let's copy that. Let's command select that layer mask and add the same thing to the middle one. Although we'll have to drag it over. And let's do the same thing. And we can actually press Command I on this and reverse it. Let me increase the size of this guy. I like that a little bit better. And I'm just going to create its own here. Screw it. Unlink the chain. Press Command T. We're going to make that bigger, and let's make this slightly bigger. Forgot to press Command I on that. Okay, cool. This is a kind of, I'm liking this so far. Let's relink all these. Let's give it a quick save. And yeah, it's getting there. It's a little too much of these. I might go ahead and delete them and keep this look. Kind of like it just a little bit better. Yeah, I kind of just like the cleaner style to this. So let's just keep it like this. And I'm gonna add, well, let's duplicate the stripes folder, Command E. I'm gonna go to, actually, yeah, let's just duplicate it again, and underneath it, I'm gonna drag over to the other side. Like this, press Command T, right click, flip vertical. Command J, let's get one over on this side. Gonna have to flip vertical again. Okay, and then these bottom ones, I'm gonna press Command E to merge. And I am gonna press Command A, Command C, Command V to cheaply crop it. All right, now that's in the gaps of the stripes, let's press Command U. Knock down the saturation. I'm gonna press Command L to get levels and bring in the blacks a little bit more. And then add back some white and just add a little bit more contrast to this. Click OK, and then we can knock down the opacity. I'm actually gonna hit Command I think. I think there's too many darks. Let's add more of the white, just so the darker bits are just barely coming in like that. And that adds a nice texture to the white areas, and I really love that. I'm also gonna come in, duplicate the stripes, and let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And yeah, let's go about, yeah, this is actually fine. Around 20. And we can do screen, knock down the opacity so it just has a little bit of a glow, which is fun. And let's give this a save. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and select our top layer and hold shift, go down to our bottom layer. Command J, Command E, Command A, Command C, Command V. So this is a cropped version of this, and it's copied, and I can go to the sleeves, paste it with Command V. This is the right sleeve, so I'm gonna align it like on this, on the left side of the canvas and save it, because this is like the middle of the sleeve. And then do the opposite over here, align it on the right side and save it. And this is what we're looking at right now. I kind of like this. I'm gonna adjust the sleeves a little bit. I'm gonna bring in that a little bit, and then on this one bring it the other way. So we have a little bit more blue showing on the sleeves. I like this a lot. I'm very happy with this. I think it might need a little bit more touching up and such. I'm also gonna come in and press Command T and bring it and hold Alt and Shift and thin it out a bit, just because of the way it's laying on the mock-up. It's okay. Let's actually come back. I'm gonna undo it, save, and come back, and let's just adjust the smart object. It might be a little bit easier. So let's press Command T, right click, warp. Yeah, let's bring this in a little bit more. Cool. And I do think just feel like it needs more blue in the body. This is like a big part of like the design process, is just feeling what things need. I like this design. It just doesn't feel done. It feels like it's missing something in the main body. Like it just needs a little bit more blue, something like that. So I'm gonna try to like a brainstorm and figure out how I can go about doing that. Let me delete the glowing part and just duplicate the stripes again. And let's just go increase the size maybe of this. Have it underneath. Duplicate another one and go in a little bit. And let's merge these. Add a layer mask. Do something like this. And then come back and erase more of it. How does that look? That looks better. That's kind of what I was going for. Just a little, like some pieces coming out. Maybe come back here and add. I'm liking this. Let's add the glow again. Down to 15. Let me select everything. Command J, Command E, Command A, Command C, Command V. I'm also going to come and add a textured effect from the displace. And let's copy that and go to the sleeves again. Okay, I'm kind of back on the gold vibe. The gold's not right. This is not the color I want, I think. I do think it looks good though. And let's try some, I don't know if a collar would look right or cuffs. I don't know. It doesn't look awful. It just doesn't look right. That kind of helps. Adding the inside sleeves and darkening them up a bit. I feel like that helps the balance. Does the collar need that? The cuffs need that. Could the inside sleeves be a blue? Ooh, I think that's almost better. I don't have the right blue selected, but that helps with the balance a lot. Okay, what if we have the cuffs back and the collar back? It feels too heavy. I like, this feels lighter, but I feel like we might need the gold. Okay, but it's still not the right gold. Let's go and that feels better. The gold's still not quite right, but we're getting there. I'm also coming off of the or the added bits on this. No, wrong one. I don't know if I like this. I kind of like the clean vibe. But it still needs more blue, I feel like. So let's go through another adjustment. Let's bring this in. And we can also make our background a lot better, I think. There we go. Okay, now that I think about it, I feel like the black numbers make a lot more sense. Just in, like, it's just gonna look better visually to read it and everything. So I think I gotta stick with that and keep the badge. Now, is this still missing something is the question. Let's Command E to merge, do all this. We're gonna create another a duplicate. We're gonna duplicate the whole thing and just add another displacement. and increase the size on this a bit. And let's do our trademark cut. Inverse it. That makes it like a little more subtle. I kind of like it. Let's try it another way. Let's create some slices. And we'll add some heavy waves to that so it's not straight. I like that a little more. I'm liking this. Okay, let's merge everything. Let's stylize. Maybe we try find edge real quick. See if that. I do love that. 25. Yeah, I think that looks fabulous. And let's merge again. And we can try the Gaussian blur thing again. Let's try lighten this time. I don't know, I feel like this might be lightening it up too much. Let's kind of keep it like this. I'm gonna press Command U and go to the cyan and maybe bump it a little bit in the blue. +5. So just a little more of the correct Argentina color. Okay, and then one more thing. I'm just curious if this looks too foreign for Argentina. Like, it's still their stripes, but it just adds that little bit of something. Yeah, I don't know. Probably keep it straight. Probably the safer bet. Okay. Now I want to add some more of this textured effect. Or not more, but add it. I actually really kind of hate it on the white though. I think it just... I need it on the blue areas. Mainly the noise. So let me just go to camera raw. Effects. How do we feel about the cuffs and stuff? I'm still not 100% sure. Let's, I'm happy with the design. I'm calling this done. Let's try a couple things quick. I might mess around with the cuffs and stuff more, but I'm gonna do a quick little test and see how this works. So let me paste this. Let me get some. What's the most interesting part? probably this left, like right here. Save that. I'm not sure that fits the vibe. What if we add this with white down the middle? If this doesn't look good, I don't know if we go with any designs on the cuff and collar. It is risky to do it anyway, just because of like the design also already has like a lot going on. But that doesn't look too terribly bad. It still doesn't feel right though. Maybe if it's reversed. So let's do this. I'm really not sure how I feel on the cuffs and stuff. I feel like it feels better with them as just white, but I don't know for sure. But I am overall pretty happy with this design. That is the design process I usually go through. It's like really just a lot of feel and just messing around. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It might be just absolute chaos, I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more. Be sure to check out Template FC for mockups, patterns, and all that good stuff. Lots of freebies there too. And see you in the next one. Peace.